Hello, everyone. My guest today is Fred Yee. He launched a company called ActiveConversion, which is setting out to help make advertising easier for B2B companies. This is Fred's second software startup and third company. Fred, you ready to take us to the top?
Yes, I am.
All right. So what does ActiveConversion do, and is it a pure play SaaS company?
In technical terms, it might not be considered a pure play, but we surely do. We probably provide a few more services than the usual pure play SaaS company.
And how would you split that though? Like last 12 months, if you like, what % of revenue was service, would you say?
Well, our services are actually wrapped into our recurring revenue, so we don't necessarily split it out like that. But I guess as a percentage of effort, maybe 20%, 15 to 20%.
Fair enough.
I'll get into why it's our target market. We are one of the few companies that work with industrial type B2B companies. So the guys who make stuff, manufacturing, service providers that work out in the field, making things work, building plants, building factories, that sort of thing. And they're not very sophisticated when it comes to marketing at all. And that's basically what we provide. So we help them with those parts.
And what do they pay on average per month or per year to use your technology?
Our average is roughly around $900 a month.
Okay, $900. And then when did you launch the company? What year?
Actually, we launched back in 2007.
Okay, 2007. Yeah. And did you bootstrap the company, or did you decide to raise early on?
No, we bootstrapped. Then we hit 2008, which was, if you recall, a bit of a nuclear winter for tech. And then, after we did the sort of things we did, we found that we could probably do okay, actually, with just sweat equity bootstrapping.
So no capital into the company to date?
What? Total capital?
No capital raised.
Oh, yeah, no capital raised, but we've put capital in.
You personally?
Yeah, I've had a separate company where we made some money and we're able to work off of that.
That's great. Now, how many of these manufacturers are you working with today in terms of customers?
We have close to 200.
Okay, that's very good. So 200 customers, and take me back to 2007 for a second. How did you get your first 2-3 customers?
Well, see, we weren't actually going after industrial companies then. This was early days of marketing automation. So we just reached out to companies.
How are you getting customers today? Maybe that's a better question.
Yeah, that's a better question. We use various methods. Our tried and true is going direct. And by going direct, we mean we reach out to our targets. How?
Via LinkedIn, email, phone?
Mostly phone.
How do you get their number?
We have a guy in-house that gets the data for us.
Do you know where he gets it, though?
He visits their website, uses LinkedIn.
How do you find the website you want to go after in the first place, though?
We do a lot of research there. And again, we're so niche with going after industrial companies. It's not really all that difficult. And I should add, we use something called Connect and Sell that you may have heard of.
Connected what?
Connect and Sell.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that do?
It does all the dialing. So we have a guy who sits on the phone and it dials out and it does the navigating through the phone tree. And when one comes up, our AE, he just sits on the line doing emails or whatever else he's doing. And all of a sudden they'll pop up and then he starts to talk to them.
That's great. What quota targets do you have for most of your AEs? Are they kind of $1 million new bookings a year, or $500,000 or more?
They're close to about $1 million.
Okay.
If they were going annualized recurring revenue, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how many of those folks do you have?
We have 2.
Okay. And do they always hit their quota?
Yeah, actually lately they have. We have things that are working pretty well. We also have another method, which I haven't gotten into, is we have a number of partners in the publishing side for the industrial market again. So these are the guys who run content, and to pay for that content, they run ads. So they sell ads. We work with their advertisers actually to make that advertising work that much better.
Okay. So 200 customers, $900 a month. You're doing about $180,000 a month right now in revenue?
Roughly.
And where were you about a year ago?
Well, actually, a big leap. we were probably only about 120 customers last year.
Oh, so what's that mean in terms of revenue exactly 1 year ago?
Ballpark about
Like 100 grand?
yeah, 100 grand a month, roughly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's good growth. And then, I mean, are you burning capital and then making up for that hole with your own personal money? Or are you guys operating cash flow positive today?
Well, it depends on how you cast it, I suppose. We feel that we're at break even. We're actually making money, but we reinvest so much back into sales and marketing to acquire more customers, right? We're working at a rate of roughly 10 per month.
10 per month, what? You're burning 10,000 a month?
No, adding 10 customers.
Okay. So with all of your expenses, I would argue sales and marketing are critical to growing your business, right? So I'd include those obviously in your spend. Are you burning capital or you're right at break even?
I think if we include that, we're burning a bit.
Okay. Like 5 grand a month, 10 grand, 100 grand a month?
I'd say around 10 grand.
Are you okay with that in terms of when you go to sleep at night, it doesn't keep you up?
If I'm getting the 10 customers per month, I sleep like a baby because I can always finance that.
Yeah, yeah. So 10 customers per month and $900 pop, you're adding basically $9,000 a month in new monthly revenue.
Yeah.
That's good.
Any investor worth their salt will look at that and going, that's over 100 new customers each year, right? To burn 120 grand,
What's your team size today? How many total people?
We have about 25 people.
25. Okay, very good. And then look, churn's critical in a SaaS company. When you look at your last 12 months, what's revenue churn been on a gross basis?
On a revenue basis, it's roughly about 18%, a little higher than we want.
Okay. But do you have your expansion revenue more than making up for the 18% loss?
Yes.
By how much?
The delta on that's a tough question. We don't measure that per se. We measure churn more on loss of customers.
Do you know what your net revenue retention is?
I actually don't measure that either.
So do you know of the customers that signed up exactly 1 year ago, 18% of them of the revenue will churn. Do you upsell the others more than 18% so that you get back to break even essentially on that cohort?
Yes, we do.
Okay, that would mean net revenue retention is greater than 100% then.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you upsell? I mean, that means your expansion revenue is at least 18%, making up for the 18% churn. What are you upselling against right now, specifically on the pricing plans?
We've increased pricing and we've added velocity to our customer acquisition. We also have...
Well, hold on. Expansion revenue has nothing to do with customer acquisition. Upsell revenue is about historical customer cohorts, not new customer ads. So what are you upselling to old customers is my question. Is it number of seats, number of new features, some utility metric?
Well, I can only bring into play what we measure, and that's that we are adding one of our key parts of our business model is to naturally add services revenue. So back at the beginning of the conversation, we had mentioned that we have a customer base that's very, say, low in terms of marketing capability.
Sure.
So we probably add another 20% in services revenue.
Yep, that makes sense.
That recurring.
And then what are you spending fully weighted to get a new, call it $900 a month customer? Do you know?
What was that again?
What do you spend fully weighted? Sales, marketing, paid advertising, conferences, outreach, whatever, fully weighted customer acquisition cost on a new $900 a month customer? Oh,
it's been coming in ranges obviously each month, but we look for it to be under $5,000 a month.
Your total spend monthly or the cost to get a new customer?
Cost to our CAC costs.
Okay, so the cost to get a new $900 a month customer is $5,000?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that would put your payback period at somewhere like 6 months?
Right.
Okay, very good. And where are you spending that money besides salespeople commissions? You said you have 2 of them.
Oh, in terms of marketing?
Yeah.
To reach the data that I was telling you about earlier, paying for facilities. Sometimes we have programs that we run with our publisher partners.
Okay, very good. All right, Fred, let's wrap up here with our famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
The one I probably comes to mind the quickest is Predictable Revenue by Aaron Ross.
Yep. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Well, I guess there'd be a number of them, but one I really like a lot is the guy running BlackBerry right now, which is not exactly a pure startup.
Yeah, that's okay. Number 3, is there a favorite online tool you have for building your company?
Well, nothing necessarily fancy, using Trello.
Okay. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
It's been getting better lately, but I try to get at least 7.
And and how old are you?
That I'd rather not disclose, but a
Come
lot
on.
older than your usual startup.
30 years young, right?
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
All right. And what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Been married a long time with 2 kids.
Okay, very good. And last question. What do you wish your 20-year-old self knew?
How to hire great people.
Guys, hire great people. ActiveConversion, they're doing about $180,000 a month right now in revenue, up from $100,000 just a year ago, serving 200 kind of industrial clients, helping them with their outbound marketing. They each pay $900 per month. Today, they're burning about $10,000 per month. They're bootstrapped, which obviously I love. 25 people on their team, churning 8% of their revenue annually, but they're expanding that same cohort 20% for 102% net revenue retention, spending $5,000 to get a new $900 per month customer. So 6-month payback period. Healthy economics. Fred Yee, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thank you.